I'm not really sure who needs to hear this, but if you're listening right now, you are exactly where you need to be. Even if it's in a rough spot, even if it's the best time of your life right now, even if it's a struggling point, or even if it's sad moments, or times of frustration, or times of ecstaticness, it's a time where you are really where you need to be. Regardless of what is going on in your life, you are exactly where you need to be. And sometimes I struggle with that. I struggle with, is this really where I'm supposed to be? I've been trying to put in work after work after work to get to where I really want to be. And there's times I feel like I'm putting in all this work, but why am I not proceeding? Why am I not here? Why am I not there? But then I remember that I'm here for the long run. I'm here to go on a journey and not a sprint. And you hear that on social media, and you may look at yourself and you're like, bro, I've heard this 10 times today. And I understand. We scroll and we scroll and we scroll and we hear similar motivational quotes and motivational sayings that are said and said and said again. But what do they really mean? But I'm here to tell you that genuinely, you are definitely where you need to be. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. And it's hard to hear that sometimes, because when you put in the work and you set goals and you keep achieving those goals and the results aren't showing, that's okay. Because if you really see the progress, if you document some type of documentation every day, if your progress is supposed to be the gym, losing weight or getting more fit, or gaining more muscle, take pictures of yourself every single day. I promise you, it'll show where you are, and it'll show you're exactly where you need to be. Obviously, when you're not disciplined at what you want to get at, you're not going to be where you want to be. And I'm sorry, but somebody has to tell you this, because there's been many times I've proceeded and I've set goals and I've never even worked towards them with full effort. And I'm like, why am I not where I wanted to be a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago? Because effort is needed. Work has to be done. It don't matter how many times you fail. It's the matter of how many times you get back up. Because in reality of this, I've understood that just through the past year of planning and trying my hardest to get here to South Korea studying abroad, it took a while. And not only that, was I proceeding on other journeys in my life, and just now those results are showing. It's showing how I can do certain things and how the skills I've learned over the past year are applicable if I put in the work. If I put in the discipline and I take things seriously, they are all applicable. But the reality of it is that in today's society, the scrolling and dopamine that we receive is so much easier than actually being disciplined at what we wanted to do. And that's why I put in measures to stay away from that, stray away for certain things that hold me away from what I really want. And it's not so deep of it that it's just the reality of it. It's as easy as deleting apps or putting restrictions on apps, because at the end of the day, all those apps are going to be there. And at the end of the day, you are where you need to be because you put yourself in that position. If you're in a bad position, a good position, it doesn't matter. You are where you need to be. And at times, you may need to be in that bad position, in that struggling position, because you yourself and your actions put you there. And don't take that self and blame yourself and shit on yourself for these actions, because at the end of the day, it's all a learning process. If you never got to that awful position, you would have never turned around the actions that you were doing to put you in that awful position. You would have continued day to day doing whatever made you go into this rut or this position that you would have never understood. I need to break these certain cycles. I need to break these certain habits because they're not beneficial to me. And even if you're in a good cycle, you could outline certain bad habits or certain good habits that maybe, oh shoot, when I do this, I feel much better. Or when I do this, I feel even better. And if I continue doing these things, if I'm feeling better now, just imagine 6 months of actually being disciplined of doing said things, you're going to be unstoppable. Understand that. You are going to be so unstoppable that it's not even funny. People are going to say you changed. It's crazy to me to think that way, that you can really change your life in 6 months to a year, but I'm living proof of that. And it may sound so stupid, but some of my closest friends would understand this, would hear me talk about certain things, and now some of those things are coming true. I always would think at night, like, is this really where I need to be? And at those times, it was a rough time. And at the time, during those times, I would think that I thought that it's not where I needed to be. It's not where I wanted to be. But in life, it's not always going to be what you want. I was always that kid growing up. I want this, I want that, no matter what. And as I grew up, I understood that that's not how life works. That is not how life is going to reward you. You're not going to be rewarded in life if all you want is greed and envy and want. Because what are you going to give to this world to allow you to receive those wants that you want? You have to set these goals and put in the work and effort to achieve those wants and to achieve the life that you want to live. Because at the end of the day, we can live off of necessities. We can live off of the bare minimum, and that should provide happiness. But in today's society, with everything around us, with movies, with social media, with outside sources of opinions and judgments, and all these things that don't even matter, it creates an artificial mind that we need certain luxuries in our life to be happy. But that's not necessarily the case. I understand with more money, there would be less problems. But at the same time, that more money might create more problems, because at the time you were busting your ass paycheck to paycheck. But when you receive that more money, now you're thinking you're balling. Now you're living paycheck to paycheck because you increase your lifestyle. You increase your wants. And you put wants over needs, which makes no sense ever. But let me get back to the topic of where you are right now is exactly where you need to be. And don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted. If you're in a bad spot, understand why you're in this bad spot. What actions led me to here? Because once you understand that, it's all a learning opportunity. Just like that saying, when life gives you lemons, you can make lemonade. Just understand that. You have the opportunity to do something with yourself, with your life, however you want. But if you don't take advantage of when you get those opportunities, then it doesn't make any sense. It's just like on the court. When you get that ball, take that jumper. You wide open. Why is there to fear? If you miss, you get another chance. There's still more minutes in the game. It's just like life. Take those risks, take those opportunities, take those chances, because when will you have that next chance? You don't know. Send that text, send that email, send that application, try in that interview, try at anything you want to succeed in this life, because at the end of the day, you are where you need to be. And don't take that for granted, because we're here for the long run. We're not here for short sprints to get to one place and go back to the previous, because that's how life can be if you're only here for the short term. We're in it for the long run. I promise you are here, you are there, you are where you need to be. Understand that. Say it with me. You are where you need to be. I will say that one more time before I go. You are where you need to be.